Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the introduction training. This is our 5th session, and it's great to see the room full. We're going to be spending the next 2 hours together and going through very much the introduction part of the training sessions we're having over the next month or 2. So firstly, my name is Parel. I'll be leading this session. With me is Inga, Kumlani and Guiswa, and they're walking around and they're here to help you if you get stuck. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask them, raise your hand. We'd like to keep this interactive as we go on, and so feel free to ask questions as we proceed. Good, so as I've said, this is an introductory session, so the focus is really on giving you an overview of the valuation support data. In other words, the property information, essentially all the LIS and SAP data that forms the background to the valuation processes. Okay, so we use those as examples. We're not touching on valuations today. So if you ask me a valuation question, I'm going to just tell you to come next week. That's the easiest. We try and build up very systematically, and so everything gets a little bit more complex as we move through the various modules. Okay. The first thing is I want you just to make sure that you can sign in to Ovio. We have sent out those URLs with your usernames and passwords, and I trust you can all get to the login page and that you are able to log in with your username and password. If you can just do that for us, please, then we're all on the same page. Just while you're doing that, just to note that we are recording the session, so the information will be available as a video or MP4 afterwards for distribution. There's also attendance registers circulating, so please make sure that you sign that before you leave. Okay, so can I assume that everybody can see what you see on the screen now, that you're all logged in? Is that a yes? Great, okay, good. So I'm just going to sit down if you don't mind, and then the first thing that we're going to look at is just picking up again from last week on how to search for a property. And I'm going to ask you to just follow along, use the examples that I use, and just so that we can illustrate what we'd like to show you. So the first items we're going to cover is land parcels and properties. And just to make the distinction between those two, land parcels are essentially your full title properties that you search through, and the properties tab will let you search through full title and units. Okay, so that's the properties are all the units. It's essentially your units table in LIS. Land parcels are the containers, are the full title with the units linked to it, and you'll see the distinction as I move along. So let's start just with land parcels. We're going to search for a property, and the example under the Earth Farm area would be Johannesburg North, which is, so if you can just select that, Johannesburg North, and I want you to then click on select. And you're going to get it's going to think a bit, and then you're going to get to a list of all the land parcels in Johannesburg North. You should see something like I have on my screen. Okay. I unfortunately can't do anything about your Wi-Fi connection. Yeah, so I'll take it slow. Yes, yeah. Okay. I'm on exactly the same system as you. Okay, so if you have searched for Johannesburg North, you will see a list of land parcels going down from the smallest number to the largest. If you scroll down your screen, you'll see right at the bottom there's 688 properties in that area, and you just get a quick summary of the earth number, the address if there's any data, and then if there's a sectional title scheme, there it will be highlighted like this. That would be a land parcel with a scheme and then the size of that property. Now, what I would like to show you is we're going to refine our search. You don't want to go through all 600 properties to try and find the one that you're looking for. We're going to refine that slightly. And so if you click on you'll notice the filter button top left is now red. It means that it's filtered information out. And if you hover over it, you'll see you have searched for the Earth Farm area, Johannesburg North. So just click on that and it will go back to your filter like that. Okay, and it allows you now to refine your search. Okay, and so what we'll do as an example is in the address field, you just type in church. So we're looking for everything in Johannesburg North that is in Church Street. Okay, that contains the word church in its address. Okay. And if you now say select, you will get a list again, but you will notice that the list is much smaller. There you go. And so now instead of 600, you get 172 items. So the principle that I want to show you is that you can go back from the your search results to your search filter the whole time like this until you find exactly what you're looking for, or until you've got a small subset of data. So now once you have this list, you can start working with the properties themselves. So we'll be using 20 of Johannesburg North as an example. So you just click on Earth 20 and you will find the land parcel information, or a summary of all the land parcel information. And so we'll be spending time on this screen a little bit with the purpose of showing you some of the tools that are available. Okay, so the first is I'm going to just run and explain through this. The information on the screen is essentially sourced from LIS and the SAP data, as well as some valuation information. And so you'll notice there's the address information for you, there's the SG's 21-digit code, there's obviously the municipality, the township it's in, the suburb from the billing system side, the centroid of the property, whether it's a sectional title or not, the various extents that we have sourced, and both from the title deed side and from the cadastre side. You have your property ID, unit key, premise ID. Those are all your LIS keys that are displayed for you. It tells you whether it's a remainder or not, what its status is. In this case, it's registered. On the right-hand side, it gives you the zoning as we got it out of LIS. There's space for zoning from the billing system from SAP as well, but we don't get that data currently. We also don't get the ward data currently. And so as soon as that data is available, if we can source it out of your SAP data, we'll populate these fields. And then what it essentially then tells you is, in terms of the sources, that this is a registered property. It occurs in the deeds office, it's surveyed, it's in the Surveyor General's office, and in your billing system. So it just gives you an idea of where those have come from. So if you then start scrolling down, you will start seeing more information, and listed in various sections like this. Okay. The first thing is, if you don't like sections and you rather want to use a tab view, right at the top you can click on layout, and it's a toggle button. If you click on layout, you'll notice that you don't have all the sections anymore. They're now in little tabs for you that you can click on like this. This is purely user preference. If you like tabs, you use it. If you don't like tabs, you just click on the layout again, and then it toggles back to the other view. Okay, you want to try that? Yeah. So it's totally preference. It doesn't really matter which one you use. Okay. Okay. So as you scroll down, you will see link documentation. We will touch on that a little bit later. if there is one linked document currently, you can just click on the little triangle on the left and that will pop open a linked document for you, and that's an Excel spreadsheet that was uploaded on the 16th. We'll explain some of that. There will be comments that we'll be making, tasks that we will be discussing. So there's the title deed data, both in black, the current owner, and then the seller, the historical owner. Any linked financial accounts, the properties that are linked. So in this case, it's obviously unit 0. This property does not have sectional titles. If they had sectional titles, the units would be listed here, and then in which valuation projects this property occurs. Okay, so it gives you, it's essentially the land parcel view is a container for a whole lot of data. Okay, from here you can just branch out and click on any of those and you'll find more information, and we'll touch on that for you shortly. The first thing I want to show you now is that you can go and on the bottom right hand corner, if you want to see what this property looks like, you click on Google Street View, and that will pop up a Street View screen for you, which we all familiar with. And you can navigate and drive around the neighborhood, and we all have worked with this before. So and it will drop a little place mark for you on the center point of the property in question. Okay, so this one, a lot of trees, can't really see much. Yeah. Okay. So there's another tool just above it called Google Map View. So if you click on there, it pops up again a little third-party screen with the Google Streets on it for you. Get a bit of more of a map view like this. You can click on the minus sign to zoom out, get a bit of context. Obviously the plus sign goes in, or you can use your mouse to just move around. Okay. You can also click on the satellite button, and that will pop the Google satellite view or the satellite imagery in for you, okay, which you can then obviously zoom in and zoom out as well. If you want to use the street view from here, you can also drag the yellow money key and just drag it in, and this is the way, and there you go. We're all familiar with this. I think we've all used this before, eh? Yeah. So the benefit here is that you have that now tightly integrated into the application. You can easily access that. In addition to this, you also have the city's oblique imagery available. So if you click on the CoJ oblique button, it will again pop up a third-party a screen for you on top, and that will open up your oblique viewer that you use in the city, and it will then zoom to the location of the property. So you need to go in, there's the property in question, we have to zoom in. As you zoom in, then your views will adjust on the side. Okay. This is obviously serving straight out of your own oblique viewer, so we just plug straight into that for you. There you go, and you can have an idea of, as you move your mouse, then the various views come up, and as you zoom closer in, you will be able to see the north, south, east view of that specific property. I assume you all use this internally as well, quite a bit, yeah? Okay, so yeah, you just have the benefit of being able to access it for the property that you're looking for. Okay, everybody comfortable with that? Yo, there's silence in the room. I love it. That's good. Awesome. Okay. So if I'm going too slow, you are more than welcome to hurry me up. If I'm going too fast, you can just say, please pause a little bit. Okay, so the next one I want to show you, again on the spatial side, right at the top, you've got a display GIS. So you can click on display GIS, and that will zoom you into or open up a GIS screen for you. depending on what you have in the background, I currently have OpenStreetMaps, which is very much the same as Google Streets, just the open source version. You should see what I'm currently seeing. And so that will zoom you to the property and also highlight where it's located. So this is the built-in GIS application that you have available. And we'll be spending a little bit more time on it. Maybe a couple of things that I want to highlight for you. The first one is you can change the background here. So if you right at the top, you can click on the arrow and there's 2 or 3 other backgrounds. Your aerial photography is the top one, and you can select the aerial photography, and your 2019 photography will now drop in as a background image for you. Okay. Your 2023 data will also be served here as soon as we can get access to that. Okay. Okay. Good. What you can also do here from your GIS viewer, and we'll be introducing you slowly to more functionality in the GIS viewer, but for now, if you click on any other earth on the side, say of your selected property, you will get a summary of the property information for that property. So you can choose any of the properties to the side, and as you select it, you get a sort of a quick view of the data on the right hand side. So that will just provide you with the info in terms of the suburb, the property that you're clicking on, the extent, the property ID, unit key, all that land parcel information just summarized, but added to that the title deed, who the owner is, the current valuation category, and if I zoom in a little bit, and the current value of that property. In other words, the latest valuation. Okay. So it allows you to very quickly get a bit of a summary of the surrounding properties. Okay, so what I want you to do now is just to click on the return button to jump back to our 20 of Johannesburg. Okay. Everybody keeping up? Is my pace fine? Good. Okay, so some other stuff that you can do, or maybe before I go there. Firstly, if you see the GIS button anywhere in the application, it will do exactly what it did now. It will zoom you to the property or the item that you have selected. Okay, so these are generic tools that do the same thing right throughout Ovio. So, and you'll see that a bit later, whether you on a title deed information, if there's a GIS button, you click on it and it takes you to the property. The same applies to the print button. So you've got this information now. If you want to print, a print will generate a PDF for you, and once you click print, you'll see there's a default. It will highlight the various sections for which information is available and selected, and you can click on the print button and that will pop up a PDF for you like this, with the summary of the information on available sort of on a very simple one-pager. If you can maybe do that, and just be aware that your pop-up blocker might be blocking you, so just make sure that you switch off your pop-up blocker. And so once you've completed the print, you can just click on return and it will pop you back to the information. So everywhere in Ovio where there's a print button, it will generate a PDF for you. The next one, which does pretty much the same except that it exports an Excel spreadsheet for you, is the export button. Just below print, you can click on export. Again, it will highlight all the sections for which information is available. You can tick or untick these. So if there's specific bits of information that you don't want to see in the export, you can go and remove them if you want to. And you can click export, and that will then do a download for you of the Excel. And if you can open the Excel, you will see that all the available information then is done in a Excel type format for you. Obviously, because it's an Excel, there's no limitation on the amount of data I can download or put. It's not like a printed report that you have to squeeze everything into a page. You will get everything that is available for that specific record. Okay.
Can I just ask a question, please?
Yeah.
This Excel.
Yes.
If you want to add something, can you add on your own?
Yeah, so that Excel is yours. You know, once you've downloaded it, is that what you're asking? Once, yes, then it's you do with it whatever you want. Yes. The idea is just that the whole principle is that whatever is in the application, you are able to get out, and then you can do with it whatever you need to. Okay. Okay. Good. So we've got, you can view, we've searched now for a property, we got to a property, we have looked at what it looks like with the Google and the oblique imagery. You find it on a GIS, you can print the summary information, you can export. And so this is all data that you're getting down from the application.